Alright guys, so this is probably going to be part two. I managed to get the CPU profile to work. I just had to restart it apparently. So I started this one first. Yeah, this one's initiating first. Taking the lead. Um, Again, I can't emphasize enough how impressed I am with this one. But in certain cases, the speed in this one just overwhelms this one out of the blue. Um, I mean, again, it's still going. But again, this does have a Samsung 990 Evo. This has a Samsung, but I'm sure it's probably just not a performer. There you go. So I'll probably run maybe another one or two benchmarks and then let you guys know how this goes. I mean, on the upside, you do get some very good performance with the 7700s on the bigger screen. It is also running a slightly higher resolution, right? But minus that test I did with the 1440, right? This really just blew this out of the water, considering that it's an RTX 4060. But the advantage is that it has a boost to up to 140 watts, right? So it can be on par with a GTX 3070 Ti, apparently. So, um, not really much to really say about this test here, other than just waiting for the end result. I'm gonna pause the video here and re-record at the end. All right, guys, we're back here. It was a split second for you. It was a couple minutes for me. Um, so it just finished. Oddly enough, despite the one on the right having started first, the left one, the Intel, finished first. Let's look at the results. Again, I'm not really, like, I really don't know if this means a lot or not, right? I'm just looking at the numbers here. Ryzen 7, the glare on there is a little high. See if I can turn down the brightness. I don't think there's. That's right, it's Windows 10. Windows 11 makes it a bit more convenient to lower down the brightness. There you go. Much better. Alright, you can see this better now. So, max threads 7,241, 16 threads, a little bit higher. Right, and then compare that to, let me turn the brightness down on this one too. See, with Windows 11, you kind of have everything like, for some reason I can't lower it down. I don't know why it says it has 2 on there. Trying to look for brightness. I'm not really sure why it's detecting 2. Yeah. I've had some, it's like it detecting external monitor sometimes struggles for some reason. But probably why I can't really lower down the brightness very much. I think it's just stuck at that. Okay, I mean, not a big deal. We'll just work through it. I'll try to see if I can combine a little bit of the shine away by just using this to cover it up a little bit, right? Alright, let me see if that works. If I can zoom in at the very least, maybe. Alright, so for max thread, AMD scores 7,241. This one scores a little shy of 7,000. 16 threads, 6,656. AMD scored 7,286. It's about 600 points higher. Don't know what that really means. Same thing with the 8 threads, right? They scored almost 5,000. The other one scored about 600 points more, a little over 600 points. The 4 thread performance is exactly the Intel beats it by about 40 points, and then the 2 threads, Intel beats it by about 200 points, and then the single thread beats it about 80 points. So not a huge difference, right? But definitely something to note of the two. Let's see if I can run another test for you guys. All right, I'm running the solar test. It is another benchmark that's included in this version of 3D Mark that I bought a while ago. And we'll see how this performs here in a second. So I kind of started this one a few seconds before this one. Let's see how that goes. You can kind of tell from this angle how much bigger this is. Although you really can't tell much of a difference as far as the keyboard layout. Obviously they extended something, but I haven't quite been able to figure out because the bezels, right, are about the same, even though this is longer. So they've obviously made something bigger. I just haven't figured out why. Maybe the keys are slightly bigger and I just haven't noticed it, but I think this one's and this is bigger. So maybe the numpad is slightly bigger, but I can't really tell the difference. All right, even though I started this one first, the Ryzen is the one that's starting up. Let's see which one loads the quickest though. We're averaging about 16, 17 on the AMD and about 16, 17 on the GTX. I mean the RTX. In some instances, the RTX seems to be doing slightly better, but they're not quite synced up. So I'm also seeing numbers here from different timestamps. The fans on the AMD just kicked on. Actually, on both. So this benchmark is definitely stressing out the GPU here to some extent. All right, just finished. So 41,922 and 42,924, man. About 100 points more. That is just insane. I mean, I'm really starting to regret telling my friend that I was going to sell him this one now. I'm going to show him this video too, and he'll be like, yeah. And again, it's a little odd that the monitoring software, it's limited on the AMD side, but there's plenty of information on NVIDIA, like, and the CPU. Like, I got all the information here, like, what the speeds are. Let me see if there's one. I think there's one more test we can run. And again, this is slightly lower resolution, but it's 200 points on a resolution. That big of a difference. But you know, if I make it full screen, you know, and scroll all the way to the top on each one of them, and that gives you an idea of what the difference is. You know, you can kind of see the third row. You can't not see the second row. I mean third row. So we will do, I mean I could do the 4K. I don't think that's gonna matter. You're not gonna be doing 4K on this computer anyways. Cross-platform for mobile, cross-platform. I guess we'll do timestamp, right? That's the only test we have not done. So again, I'm gonna hit no demo included. We'll hit run. Whoops. This one has a demo. I gotta restart this. Hold on, guys. All right, guys. This will probably be the last test I run. Did I forget to turn off the demo? I think I forgot to turn off the demo again. Darn it, gotta restart this. Alright, I promise this time I did it right, so. I might just do a battery performance, like playing a video game, and see how that works. Maybe I'll run 1 or 2 benchmarks after this. Well, I think I started this one just a few seconds before this one, and it's still going faster. So in some regard, you know, I don't know if it's a combination of the Evo or the processor, but it sometimes doesn't make a big difference. So we're averaging about 63, 62, 61 frames initially, and on the left hand side, still, I mean, that's a big difference. And I've started this a couple times and canceled it, so technically this should be loading a lot quicker. So again, that's probably evil in this thing, but this one's definitely averaging a lot less. Not a lot less, but maybe about 3 frames less. We're averaging about, well, now it's doing pretty good actually, like 70, 69. I went down to about 50. So in this one we're at 72, 73 in that scene. So we'll keep an eye out for this when this one does that. Alright, we're just about on that scene. 70, 69, 72, 73, 69. So it fluctuates just a tad bit more, but overall it's doing great. So on the right hand side we're averaging about 50-ish frames, drops down to about 46. So the RTX 4060 is struggling a little bit on this one. We're about 40, 42, 43. Went up to 46 for a second, 48, then back down to 41, 42, 40. So with that space station, it averaged on the right side about little over 60. Not that space station on the left. We'll get to the next part. Let's see what the frames are. $59.61 roughly. It seems to be flowing a lot better on the left end. It seems to be flowing real nice. Wow, that finished real quick. That just flew right by. Unbelievable. Rapid score. It scored 280 more. CPU score, and you really saw the difference. It's almost 2,000 points difference. Holy cow. That's impressive. I'm a little confused by this. I really expected this to really be ahead of this one. Again, though, I must emphasize, this is running at 1940 by 1200 versus the, can't really see it, maybe you can see it there, 1080. Can't really turn the brightness down. I still think this plugged into my monitor. Let's try without the I'll make it a part 3, but I'm gonna try without the or both are 100%. I'll try it with without it being plugged in.